can see that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Huh?
What's that?
Oh, sorry.
All right, the September 2nd, 2025 Middlebury Town Council meeting will be called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kent Coffin,
Here.
Mike Holloway,
Here.
Gary Kripe,
Here.
Carl Miller,
Here.
Kevin Miller.
Here.
All right, we have the minutes for the August 18th meeting.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes for the August 18 meeting as presented.
I'll second.
Have a motion, any second? Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I'll open the floor for public comment. Mary?
Just a couple of things I'd like to add to the agenda. The salary ordinance amendment that you guys received today. And also just a quick discussion on utility service, insurance, about doing a study to see about that. And the third thing is, Public Works did an amazing job on Friday. Robert was away on vacation, and the crew did an amazing job with getting that break fixed in Rolling Meadows pretty quick. And then there was another leak today, a service leak, and they knocked it out of the park again. So, and that was even after Robert kind of like jinxed him and said, "Oh, this is going to be easy." So anyway, they did a great job.
And that was without a boil order, right?
Correct. We
Wow.
did not have to shut it
That
down.
was really good, really
That
good.
was also in Rolling Meadows.
Seth got a little wet, but yeah,
That's okay.
The one today was also in Rolling Meadows.
yes.
Do we need to add a discussion on SB 1? Also, where is that?
That's kind of what I thought.
All right. Any other public comments? All right, we'll close the public comment section. Move on to expense vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the expense vouchers as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Unfinished business, the 2026 budget discussions. All right,
Salaries.
I think we've all bounced that one around.
You have ours, so.
Yeah.
As yours will be a 3% across the board if tonight's salary ordinance gets approved.
Correct.
Yeah, and
And I think as far as I know from everybody else, it was kind of 3% across the board. I wasn't sure, Mike. I hadn't had any conversations with
Yeah,
you.
I didn't have much of a conversation with Tom, but just not knowing what SB 1 is going to bring, I had in my mind 2%, but I haven't had those conversations with Tom, so.
I didn't see anything that we talked about.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna go more than 3, but my gut tells me 2, just based on not knowing how SB 1 is gonna hit us. But,
I don't know. I guess my thought was when that comes in, that's going to kind of stifle us wherever we're at.
Well,
Be my guess.
and
Or slow
consider-
us down from where we're at.
And considering we're not taking into account some increases in revenues, so hopefully Shaylee will be okay.
I think we'll be okay if we can keep everything where we're at like that. I'd rather do a small raise now and be able to continue to do small raises moving forward than do a large increase and then have to freeze everybody or talk about cuts. So I think if we do small increments, we'll be okay, because when you look at the predictions that they've given us with where we're going to grow, I think we can manage within that.
The 3% doesn't put us in dangerous territory or red.
I don't believe
Potentially.
so.
Yeah, I think that number does. I think going larger would be.
yeah, it wouldn't be wise, I wouldn't think.
I mean, until we can get through next year and maybe even the following, it's kind of hard to say what really is going to happen and isn't going to happen. I mean, they've got talks of already going back and revising things
Right.
with Senate Bill 1. What does that look like? What does that mean? Right now,
Possibly
nobody
this winter.
knows. So, yeah,
Hopefully those revisions don't make it worse.
you know,
they
you
could.
never know.
Which they
Don't see
could.
how it could.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah,
Trying to dial it in.
I mean, we can all cross our fingers and our toes,
right.
make sure that hopefully all the revisions go in the pro way versus the con way.
And that's really all that's left on the budget discussion, and it's just the.
For the most part, yeah, I'd like that. There are some changes I still need to make regarding utility services, due to increases with NIPSCO. So I didn't know that when I'd first set some of that, and so I'm trying to figure out how much to increase that by for next year. Because we're not only talking the changes that they've made recently, but the upcoming increases as well for next year. So 25-30% probably is what we're gonna have to look at increasing those lines by. For electric, gas, I think is not quite as bad, but similar, if I remember correctly. I'll have to look again. But
Are we still on deadlines that we need to meet for disclosure?
Or do we need a motion to move on that, or?
I don't think so, not at
Just a
this time.
discussion.
There's not really
Right.
anything to be motioned, other,
No emotions involved?
no. I'm not presenting anything the next meeting. If we can get it published in the newspaper soon enough for the public hearing,
It doesn't have to be done before October, or is it the end of October?
end of October.
Okay.
So I know we always still have that first meeting in October. I'm not 100% sure if we can make the cut for the 15th.
Okay.
Is it 10 days
The public
Prior.
notice?
for the public notice? Not including weekends.
Are we gonna have a third meeting this month? Somebody mentioned having one on the 29th. We keep it.
That's
I
in
think
the-
we're deciding the 29th meeting later today.
In a new business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's down the line. So I,
Notice for public hearings, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything special about the budget.
I wasn't 100% sure. I just know today's already a Tuesday, so I don't know how that, when I'm counting days.
Oh, we lose a day. So, yeah, that won't meet the requirement. Okay,
So,
all right. Anything else in the budget?
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to new business. Mid-State Specialty Eggs petition for annexation.
Yeah, so this potential annexation has been percolating for a little while. Mid-States Specialty Egg is the large egg producer and washer southwest of Millbury. We have an in lieu annexation agreement with them. They have submitted a petition for annexation, or at this meeting, they are officially submitting that petition for annexation. I put together a timeline for what that would look like because they're looking to do an annexation in 2 phases. First phase is for a portion of the property and second phase is for another. So I believe, yeah, that timeline was in your packet. So there's a couple of things to address. Based on how the meetings line up with some challenges with the Labor Day weekend bumping the normal schedule, and also just trying to make sure that it falls within the somewhat tight timelines of annexation. I'm recommending we do an additional meeting, a special meeting on September 29th. That would be the last Monday in September, if it works for everybody. And that would be for the public hearing on the introduction of the annexation ordinance. One reason we have to do that is because we have to do a 20-day notice for the public hearing for that in that case, but you can't wait longer than 30 days after the petition is submitted to have the public hearing. So there's a 10-day period. And usually a regularly scheduled meeting doesn't fall in those, except in certain circumstances. So that's why we're looking at a potential special meeting for that public hearing, and if it works out to help with budget timeline too, that's just extra cherry on top. But so upon their submission, it's I guess we would look for a motion to accept the petition and to set the public hearing at that special meeting date on the September 29th. Yeah, any question?
Yeah, I have what might be a total bonehead question, but how does annexing that property from Middlebury Specialty Ag help us, or Mid-State Specialty Ag?
Yeah, I mean, that's
What's the
the
benefit
question
to
on
the
all
town?
our minds, I think.
Well, the benefit
What are the pros and cons?
is, I guess the reason they want to annex is because they're out of town, so they're gonna likely be charged the out-of-town rate, and they would be connecting to our water sewer.
Which they are now by lieu of annexation, right?
Correct.
So
That's up to you to decide as a
so the
public
benefit to
official,
them
I
is a
guess.
lower rate on water and sewer.
Right, since they're outside of town, it's 125% normal rates.
For
if you're not-
water and
water
150
and-
for sewer.
30% for, 30% water, 50% sewer.
And that includes, that 50% on all their surcharges for their, the treatment, pre-treatment.
Right, so the question is, there isn't any benefit to the
Well,
town.
I guess theoretically, when you have large businesses like Mid-States, that value of that property is added to the, our assets as a town, which could be used to leverage additional bonds or debts. It could, if we have a higher assessed value, that might lower property taxes in very small amounts
Mhm.
across the board. Those are some. As far as other things, they could make their case at the public meeting on why they want to be connected or
Annexed.
included in the town.
Is the property contiguous now? I mean, it touches Middlebury property?
There is a small,
Mhm.
I think there's a map in that
Right.
packet.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
It's the
fit this one.
northeast corner
Is adjacent to Jayco?
of that Jacob property, which was annexed maybe 2 years ago.
Okay,
And
so
Yeah,
that
the
sliver
shade-
up
the
there
shaded
It-
area.
is town now.
it meets very narrowly the boundary requirements.
Yeah, it does.
Which I believe are 1/8 of the
197
Yeah,
feet.
1/8 of the parcel's perimeter needs to be contiguous with the town.
Boy, it's gotta
I checked the map.
just- Yeah, it's gotta just meet it. Okay,
It meets exactly 1/8.
okay. Okay.
So I guess the public hearing isn't really a discretionary thing. When someone submits a petition, it's the town's duty to, hold a public hearing on their
Yeah,
petition.
right.
You're not required to approve the ordinance for annexation, but you're more or less required to have a public hearing and let them have their petition.
Sure, let
heard.
them petition, yeah,
So-
absolutely. Okay.
Those would be great
requiring-
questions for them at the
Is
petition.
Yeah.
there any liability for us out there?
Well, when you annex a property into the town, you're agreeing that you're gonna provide them
snow and-
services. Theoretically, trash and police services, emergency services, which mostly township anyway.
Water and
They're
sewer.
already getting water
And
and
sewer,
sewer.
right, but
um,
at a higher rate.
And trash is for residential only, so.
Right, yeah, I guess, I don't know if
Yeah.
that would need any
Right.
trash, but,
And some of their taxes would benefit the town. so-
Right.
so Some of their taxes would go towards services.
Mhm.
Right, and a lot of times, we'll also annex or have the roadway, so the roadway comes into our maintenance, but typically in something like this, we work with Elkhart County because we do some of what they have, it all works out in the end, but, yeah, so they'll continue to maintain that, but that's typically what also happens.
Okay.
So the answer is yes.
Well, and no.
If the,
No, no, no.
There
as
are
far
both.
as the,
There's pros
we
and
would
cons,
need a
but-
motion for that public hearing to be set and that meeting date.
Okay.
So I just proposed another Monday meeting.
Mhm.
It'd be the Monday before the October meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Same time.
Same time as what I proposed.
In that channel.
So I'll make a motion that we approve and accept the petition for annexation of Mid-State Specialty Eggs, Phase 1 as presented.
Oh, my
And,
second.
and also approving the special meeting for September 29th at 6 PM.
I think we're just doing the meeting right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my apologies. I withdraw my motion.
Correct? I mean,
Yeah, we just set,
Yeah.
set the special meeting for the public hearing on the petition.
yeah.
That'll be,
You want a motion for the 29th?
Yep.
Yeah, I just need a
I'll make a
for me.
motion that we approve the special meeting for September 29th at 6 PM for the annexation of Mid-States Specialty Eggs. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 12019 County Road 12 in lieu of annexation agreement.
So I did not hear anything from Elkhart County with regards to this today, but the septic system at 12019 County Road 12 is in failure. And so they were working on doing soil borings and stuff. And they called in for locates, and we were up locating. And the guys came back and said, we have water and sewer both there on County Road 12. So I reported that to Elkhart County. And so now, I think that they're gonna need to connect to our sanitary sewer. We have a lateral across to the property already, because our sewer's on the south side. This property's on the north side of the roadway. But I have not heard back from Elkhart County, so I'm not exactly sure, because they were gonna come to this meeting tonight to ask for not to have to connect, and I said, that's Elkhart County. But they are in septic failure, so I don't know if you want to make a contingent motion, if Elkhart County requires them to connect, you know, if you're okay with moving forward with this, or, I mean, they
Yeah,
haven't signed anything.
they haven't signed anything, yeah. So we could do that, or we could just wait till they come in to sign the agreement and then approve it once signed. That's sort of my preferred order
Yeah,
of
wouldn't it be better to
operations
have
of doing
their
it. Of course,
signatures
you
on
know,
it
if they're
first?
in an emergency situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how bad it is for them right now, but it sounds like they don't really want to connect unless they have to. and They're still hashing things out with the county, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's
I-
wise to wait until they sign a document
Yeah,
that
that,
they've agreed.
yeah, that would be my,
Yeah, I don't think we should agree before they do. So it's kind of up to them then, or the county, or
If the county tells them that they need to,
so they haven't answered them yet, or?
that's what, yeah, we've not heard from the county what way they're telling the homeowners, so.
Well, that doesn't help the homeowner much.
Well, the homeowner could do it
homeowner-
without the county saying you have to. They're just saying they don't want to do it unless the county tells them they have to.
Correct.
Right, and
They
the
could
county,
do it without the county telling them that. They just don't want to.
the county initially told them that they
Have
had
to,
to,
right.
but they were gonna go back to the county. I just have not heard anything back from the property owner or the county, so I don't know the direction.
Right. I think until we get
Yeah.
some clarification
And
for the county,
It's,
there's not a
it's
whole lot.
possible there's some administrative appeal they could do for that determination. I don't know if they'll be doing that or not. And I'm not familiar with the process myself, if that even exists to them. So, yeah, I might just, it's ready when they're ready, I guess.
Yeah, I think when they get their answer from the county and then come to say, this is what we'd like to do, then we can approve it then, right? Or not approve it. Although we gotta do something because they're in failure, so. Once they know they have to do it, kind of a done deal.
So I guess we're tabling that until we hear further.
If we'd like to table it, I would look for a motion to table, I think.
I will make a motion that we table the in lieu of annexation agreement for 12019 County Road 12 until the home, property owners have heard from the county.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we kind of already did this part, the special meeting for the annexing,
Nope,
for the.
the RDC
One town Brown.
and town council.
Oh, I
one
missed
time.
one, sorry. Here we go. The RDC or town council purchase of 110 Brown Street.
So we're just trying to figure out who, or what funds to use for purchase. The redevelopment commission approved using downtown TIF funds for the purchase. They have a little bit more leeway with regards to what price that they set. So the two appraisals come in, and the average of the two appraisals was 197. And the assessed value is 208,000. They set it at 210,000 in their resolution. But they're looking for direction from the council of who, which entity do we want to go with providing the funds to purchase. So that's kind of where it's at.
Both the town council and redevelopment had said they've are passed resolutions, each of them, saying that we are willing to purchase the property. So really, they're happy to buy it, but if the town council wants it first, or however, it's up to you guys, I think. The only thing we didn't maybe discuss was, where the funds were coming from, if the town council is gonna be purchasing it.
Right. So the one benefit of having the RDC purchase is that we have the ability to go beyond the average of the two appraisals, which means it may not slip through our fingers.
Right. There's a little bit more flexibility on the purchase price with redevelopment. There's also a little more flexibility on what they can do with the property, if they want to sell it. If the town council's going to sell it, they just sort of put it up for sale at the average of the two appraisals. Redevelopment can sort of select who they sell it to in a sort of RFP process. And there might be other flexibility that they may have that town council doesn't. So that's one consideration, but
Can RDC grant it to the town?
I believe that would be true on both ends. So I think the
Okay.
town could also potentially grant
Because
it to the
the-
redevelopment.
So we could switch it back and forth.
Well, one of the discussions of the RDC too was that if the RDC is the entity that purchases it, it would be we would come to the town council, what do you want to do with it? So there's no, nothing specific that the RDC wants to do with it or desires to do with it. It would be, what would the council prefer and like? Because that's the reason to purchase it, is how does it benefit the town? And so the
Right.
RDC doesn't have its own plan or vision for it. Yeah, I just think the benefits of being able to go beyond, where we're locked in on the average of the two, and the two came in at 196 and 198. So it's like
Right.
197.
So we're,
and
the council's locked in at
197.
197. You guys approved 210.
Correct.
Up to
'cause the-
210,
Right, because the
correct.
appraised value is 208. So the
Assessed value.
assessed value, sorry. Assessed value is 208, so the RDC was willing to go 210. And so it does give a little more flexibility to not let it slip away, if possible.
Well, I know in working with the parking study, that property is not specifically mentioned, but it's somewhat indicated that that could be a good use if we were to acquire that property. I know they're planning on presenting to the council, I believe it's at the 15th, September 15th meeting, their recommendations.
Mhm.
So that's, that's just from the parking study that's going on. That's one of the possibilities.
I don't know, it seems like there would be benefits to having the RDC do that.
Mhm.
More flexibility as far as going in to get it.
As far as the acquisition of the
Yeah.
property, yeah, yeah.
Right. And the council's
'Cause-
funding issue, or where do we get the money from?
Right.
Right, where the RDC has already approved the downtown
Or,
TIF.
yeah, has,
Yeah.
has the
Purchase.
funds available.
Yeah. And the property has been on redevelopment's acquisition list, at least since it was up for tax sale the last
The
time.
last time, right?
Mhm.
So maybe before that, I don't know
Yeah,
if I remember exactly.
but at least then.
I'd like to make a motion that we let our DC move ahead, and then they'll coordinate with us after the fact if they get it.
I'd second that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, back to the other place. Which we already did
Mm-hmm.
approve the meeting. We'll move on to request permission to request proposals for construction engineering on Bristol Street.
So the Indiana Department of Transportation, they awarded federal funds to the town for the Bristol Avenue project. So as a part of that project, the town will need to hire a construction inspection consultant to oversee the construction and completion necessary to submit to NDOT for approval once everything's constructed. And so the first step in this process is to advertise for a request for proposals for construction engineering on NDOT's website. And we did actually receive, or we got our DBE goal, which is 5%. And we're waiting on NDOT's approval for the RFP for the project. We've got it assembled and submitted to them. So what we're asking for the council is permission to post that on NDOT's website once it's approved. And then we're hoping to get proposals back either, I'm hoping by October 20th. Sometimes you just never know how long it's going to take for NDOT's review of that. And sometimes they help set the date of when the proposals come in. But I would prefer that they come in at a council meeting, you read the names of who's submitted proposals, and then we'll develop a team of who will review those proposals and evaluate. Typically, it's a team of 3 from the town. So anybody that would like to volunteer.
As long as you tell us all the engineering lingo, we're good to go.
Okay. So anyway, just asking permission to advertise once NDOT gives their blessing on the proposal, request for proposal.
Well, I would make a motion then that we grant permission for the request proposals for construction engineering on the Bristol Avenue project once NDOT has given us the last of information.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on, salary ordinance change. The salary ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay. you
So
got it.
there were some updates to the Public Works Department's compensation, and we just also had some cleanup. Just looking back just to see how far that went. It goes back to like 2022, like
Yeah.
that numbering system. So I don't know exactly how it started, probably just evolved over time. So it also cleans up just some nomenclature on how it identifies the position so that they're consistent with the
Yeah.
current job descriptions. And at one point they might have matched up, but over time maybe they
They changed
yeah,
or
so
evolved.
it makes things easier to understand if they're all the same. So cleans up that, but it also updates, and I don't have the names in front of me, but moves
Derek
three
Doty into
individuals up,
foreman.
essentially one position, one to foreman, one to laborer one to laborer two. Under the new
Yep.
naming.
Which were positions we already had, wages that
Correct.
were already there.
Yep.
Okay.
So Josh was the foreman prior. He was moved to GIS, which left that vacant.
Mm-hmm.
After interviews, it was requested for Derek to be moved into the foreman position. So that does that with the pay change. That moves Seth Hartman into laborer one, Matt Cooper into laborer two, leaving Kendall Miller and John Meadows as laborer threes.
So the laborer threes are not changed except for how they're named.
Correct.
The rates for foreman, laborer one, and laborer two did change.
Correct.
So
The laborer threes,
From the last time we
Wages are
had
the
people in those jobs?
correct?
yes.
Yes.
Prior to the 3% we're going to talk about for 2026.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. I guess maybe I should clarify too, the foreman position is not as high as it was when Josh was in that position. So, which
Yeah, that's
that's
actually-
due to experience
The
and,
3375 is actually lower than what Josh
correct.
was making.
Yeah, that, I just wanted to clarify that with the way that he had asked if they were,
That's,
The
yeah. so that
foreman
was really my
position was
question.
previously vacant and
Got
didn't have anything set, but the previous foreman, which would have been Josh.
right.
Yeah.
So,
So the money's there.
Labor 3A and Labor 3B remained the same.
correct,
Correct. So the only ones that moved up were Labor 1 and Labor 2.
correct. Who were listed, I believe, as laborer 2, 3, and 4 on the old ordinance, if
Yeah,
I
think
remember
each of them-
correctly.
Is it $1 each
I don't know what the amount is each.
increase?
Do you know off the top of your head, Robert, what the,
Right around there
I think it was real close to that. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
for those two.
I agree, I just don't remember off the top of my head.
I know.
The only thing you have to remember.
I've got it in here somewhere.
You can hit me later.
It's $1 for Derek. $1 for Seth. No, it's $2 for Derek, $1 for Seth. And not quite,
About two.
yeah, it's about a little more than $2 for Matt.
Yeah, with the reduction in the foreman and the addition, it came out to about an additional, between all of them, about $3 per hour, spread between the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, the situation with Matt, I think we've discussed before that was, should have been done before. You know, Matt's been.
Quite a while ago, yeah.
Quite a while ago, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yep. Based on the experience and,
Mm-hmm.
I'd make a motion to approve ordinance number 710-1, amendment to
I.
the salary ordinance.
It's the
I, that's an I.
alphabetical number I, yes.
Alphabetical number.
Aye. Ordinance number 710-I.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, utility insurance.
So Shaylee and I had a discussion today with representatives from Baker Tilly. I think it was maybe in 21 or 22, we had the water and sewer superintendent for Goshen's utility come over and give a discussion or a talk about how Goshen does sewer insurance, sewer and water insurance based upon for the, going from like the curb stop into the house or from the sewer clean out into the house. Because currently that's 100% the responsibility of the property owner. And I'm not sure how many, if any of you get any of these calls that we get in our office.
Oh, from NIPSCO and from
Well,
all over.
I mean, we get those in which NIPSCO is charging
Kevin's got one.
$5.99 a month.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
and
it's not NIPSCO, it's a third party,
Right.
but
Right,
it, yeah,
right.
which
And it
that's
does-
a
It's a
whole
new
thing
research.
too.
Yeah.
But like when we get a call here at town hall or if they get a call at Public Works or the water or sewer departments, a lot of times it's an older person that has, has no experience with construction, has no experience with this type of situation, which we have, we have the tools, we know how to make this happen if there is a problem. And so it's just looking at seeing if we should implement some type of insurance plan ourselves so that way we can control who's working on our water and sewer. Because if somebody just comes in and starts doing something on a service line, sometimes we may not even know. And it also gives us some guidance of, okay, here's, a list of certified contractors that are allowed to, work in the town. You can choose which one. Like Goshen system, I think it's a $250 deductible, or maybe it's $350. But some of these bills can get $5,000 to $10,000 when you're talking replacement of a service line, if that's what's needed. So we just, we asked Baker Tilly to put together a proposal of what they would charge to help us with, initiating something like this, and just to see what fees we would need to implement, if that's what we were gonna do. I'm not saying that that's the direction that we have to go, but sometimes it would definitely make it a lot easier on us, and I think also on the residents, because the angst that you hear in their voice, especially, a lady calling in and she's living by herself and she has no clue of how to do any of this. And then they don't know what it's going to cost. A lot of
what
times we don't either.
Or what it should cost.
Right,
I think more importantly,
right.
not what it will cost, but
Somebody
what it
swooping in.
should
An
cost.
opt-in
right.
situation, or
What,
would it be an opt-in for the
I
order?
don't know how to,
I think it'd be easiest if it was an automatic opt-in and kind of a no choice opt-in, just
Then it's not
for,
insurance.
sorry.
Well, then, I mean, if we force them to buy this plan that covers them, that's not really insurance. That's saying you're gonna pay us this much and there's this much deductible. And does that make sense what I'm saying? I mean, if the plan makes sense, it should be an easy decision. I don't know if, forcing people to buy insurance is the right move.
yeah.
I think that's where it
Yeah.
gets hard though, to come down to a cost.
Right, it does.
Because
You don't know what
if
you're
you
covering.
only get 5 people who want in the whole town, it's gonna cost differently than it
Oh,
would
sure.
if the whole
I
town
understand
opts in.
Yeah,
And
What
I think
does
we'll have,
Goshen do?
And with billing,
everybody pays.
It's just an
Every,
year-end.
every residential customer pays. I don't believe, I think maybe duplexes do, but I'm pretty confident that apartment, complexes are considered commercial and they don't, they're not part of it. They just have to do their own thing because that's a business. But I'm not 100% sure what they do with duplexes.
Well,
But as
so-
far as single-family housing,
Right,
they're in the plan.
everybody's in.
Mhm.
So you don't really have the option. You never know when something's gonna go. Trying to remember, so the line that went today in Rolling Meadows on Dogwood was a copper line. I mean, it could happen on any of these lines. And I don't remember how old, was that in the 80s? Early 90s? Okay, maybe it's mid-90s. Like our newest subdivisions are probably the villas, I would say. And the villas were
For sure.
mid to late 90s. And that's some of our newest stuff.
Well, late, I mean, I moved here in 92 and they weren't there, so it's gotta be late 90s
Yeah,
2000s.
or 2000s, yeah.
So-
Early 2000s.
I moved here in
somewhere.
92 and they weren't there, so.
yeah. So, I mean, we're pushing 30 years. And, you know, the majority of the town is, especially the downtown area, unless we've been there and fixed it
Mhm.
or put in new.
But
I
this
mean,
was not from ours to the house? It was ours,
Ours,
so it didn't affect the homeowner.
correct.
Well, so Baker Tilly's gonna bring us,
Just a proposal to like, for
Here's
you
what
to
it
say
would-
yes or no, should we even go down that
Mhm.
rabbit hole?
Mhm.
And then,
I personally think it's a good idea. I would opt in, but I don't know about the rest of the town, you know.
mhm.
well, I guess it would depend on cost, really.
Yeah.
for me. I
Right.
mean, some people are gonna say, well, if it's, you know,
You-
if it's a few dollars,
we
then I'm
should-
not gonna
yeah.
notice it, but
You
if
know,
it's,
Yeah, and one thing that we could do is if Baker Tilly can get this kind of put together and assembled and help give us some guidance, maybe we put it in the newsletter and do
Right, that's
a
what I was
QR
thinking too.
code
yeah, so.
Right.
and see, see where everybody's at.
Get a feel
Mhm.
from the public
Yeah.
as far as
Get
whether
that
they'd be
feedback
interested
on
or
that.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that some people have already opted into this NIPSCO service, because they got a letter and they keep sending letters and, you know,
This is the
They-
second or third one I've gotten. this
yeah.
year.
And you know, the people who are older are probably gonna be more susceptible to opting into these kinds of things, whether they think it's a scam or not.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just one of those things when they call, we can't provide them any type, they're asking us if we offer it, and I have to tell them no, and then they're asking me if they should get this insurance coverage, and I
So people
can't
that
tell
are
them
doing this are
yes or no.
asking if we do it.
Correct. They're questioning it. They're wondering if we provide it. I mean, I'm sure they'd rather us provide it versus it being added on their NIPSCO bill. But I also get that it's another fee or something that we're adding on to utility bills, just like we just added with the fire protection. And, we held off rate increases this year, but I don't know what that looks like for next year. If we're still gonna be okay, or if we're gonna have to look back at that old ordinance or potentially come up with a new rate.
Mhm.
And
But
we discussed that with
it's-
Baker Tilly today as well, like,
But
what does
when-
it look like and where
Yeah.
are we at? But
And when your toilet doesn't flush and you need to figure out what's going on, I mean, a lot of people are at a loss. I mean, we just had a situation up on,
Island Commons, right?
The Point.
Mm.
And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for a couple of years, there was a surf internet line that was bored through their sanitary sewer service. We have such sandy soils up there, it didn't surface for the longest time. And the guy couldn't flush his toilet. So, I mean, and all of the soil just kept flowing in there and it was packed. Like, it took them hours. That bill was over $8,000 to repair that. Surf Internet is paying for that because it was their fault, their contractor's fault. But I mean, if something like that would happen, that's $8,000.
Mhm.
So,
It's worth looking at the.
I'd like
the
to
And
bigger-
it's an
bigger total
immediate
is
need.
biggest.
It's not like that. You're talking having to shut somebody's water off to their home entirely
what-
until they get their
Right.
water line repaired.
What's the
So-
rate that,
Theirs is
$5.99.
$5.99.
that's what I thought it was.
And it looks like they like it to be for a year at a time. It says you can cancel any time, but it does say 12-month contract. So if they do it in January, they may get stuck until the following January. But it's basically $10,000.
Is there a deductible?
It's not, I didn't see deductibles. It looks to me like it's anything over their amounts you're just stuck for. But it shows 6,000 for covered water line repairs per year, then 4,000 per street and public sidewalk repairs connected to that break. And then they do the same thing for sewer or septic.
Do you have a ballpark, year to year, 20 residents, 50 residents?
It's
that-
not
that
really
ca- that
something we
call in?
track since it's
But
not.
just dozen?
We can bring that.
I was just,
Robert catalog.
I mean, it's not a big
Be
deal.
curious to know if it was
I mean, if it's 3
10 or
if it's-
50.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like, if
I
it's
think-
only 3 or 5 or something,
I would probably say between 5 and 15. It just,
a year.
Between water and sewer.
Like the last 3 years, you know, how many have we had, you know?
But it's only gonna go up too, just like Mary's
Well,
pointed out.
right,
The
it's-
older it's
Yeah,
getting.
yeah, well, the potential certainly goes up, right.
and I think, the first year, we would have to have some type of seed money, out of the operating budgets for both water and sewer. I don't know what that amount is. It'd probably be based upon maybe some numbers that he's gonna get us.
Right. Right. How many are we averaging over the last 3 years or 5 years?
Right.
I think if they could beat NIPSCO's price,
They said that most places are $3 to $5 per month.
Gonna say, we'd have to be able
I like
to,
the
they,
three.
they're all overhead.
yeah. So, yeah, especially if they could get it closer to the 3 range, I think people would swallow that a lot easier.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm like Carl,
Knowing
I'd
that
jump
they
all
don't-
over it.
Yeah.
I would. And I put my own in, I'd do it again, but I'd rather do that.
So are you asking for permission to have them do that? Because there'll be a cost to them to
Well,
do
just-
that, or?
It was more for an information.
Okay.
Because having them submit a proposal,
Mhm.
to help us is not costing us anything.
Okay. That was
Once
my
that
question.
proposal comes in, that's when
Yep,
we'll
Right,
need action. But I just wanted to let you know what we're working on.
perfect. That's great.
thank you.
Great idea.
Yeah, when
Well-
I came, I saved it.
Announcements?
Yeah.
The
And we
Elkhart
can
County,
control I'm sorry.
Elkhart County Regional Sewer District meeting on September 3rd at 6:30 PM.
Actually, 5.
At 5 PM. Looks like there's been a change.
Last
In the
minute.
Public Services Building, Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission meeting on September 4th at 2 PM in the Public Services Building. Middlebury Tree Board meeting on September 4th at 7 PM at Town Hall. And Elkhart County Plat Committee meeting on September 11th at 9 AM in the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Plan Commission meeting on September 11th at 9:30 AM in the Public Services Building. And next Middlebury Town Council meeting will be on September 15th at 6 PM here at Town Hall. And we're adjourned.